Yes. Now coming to the cholesterol metabolism. Now at the end of the class, you should be in a position to enumerate the steps of biosynthesis of cholesterol till mevalonate. Okay. Then you should know the plasma cholesterol level, how is it transported, what is the normal level, what is hypercholesterolemia and what is hypocholesterolemia, and also you should know how this cholesterol is catabolized and excreted. That is, under that you should know how about the synthesis of bile salts, functions and excretion. Now you should be also in a position to know the lipid lowering drugs. Now how is that synthesized? The site for the synthesis is all the nucleated cells, mainly the liver. Okay. The subcellular site is in the cytosol and endoplasmic reticulum. And the substrate for the synthesis is acetyl-CoA. Okay. Now this acetyl-CoA is transported from the mitochondria to the cytosol via citrate. We saw in under de novo synthesis how it is transported from the mitochondria. Now acetyl-CoA, two molecules of acetyl-CoA will combine together to form acetoacetyl-CoA, and the enzyme is nothing but beta-ketothiolase. Now this acetoacetyl-CoA will combine with one more molecule of acetyl-CoA to form beta-hydroxy beta-methyl glutaryl-CoA. Now till this step you have already studied under ketone body synthesis. Okay. So this in the present acetoacetyl-CoA in the presence of HMG-CoA synthase is converted to beta-hydroxy methyl glutaryl-CoA, that is HMG-CoA. Now once HMG-CoA is formed, now this HMG-CoA by removing coenzyme A and by utilizing NADPH gets converted to what is called as mevalonate. So HMG-CoA is converted to mevalonate by an enzyme called as HMG-CoA reductase. This is an important enzyme, HMG-CoA reductase. And see here, NADPH is used, not NAD but NADPH is used. Now this mevalonate, and this is the key regulatory enzyme of cholesterol biosynthesis. HMG-CoA reductase is the key regulatory enzyme. Now this mevalonate is a compound having 5 carbon atom. Is that clear? Now this, 6 carbon atom. Okay. Mevalonate, see here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6th one. Okay, mevalonate. Now this mevalonate by a series of steps is converted to 5-pyrophosphate mevalonate, okay, by using kinase enzyme. Whenever kinase is used, ATP is required. For y'all, till the formation of mevalonate is important. So HMG-CoA is converted to mevalonate by HMG-CoA reductase. Till here you have to know the step. Already till HMG-CoA you have studied under ketone body synthesis. Only step you have to learn is how HMG-CoA is converted to mevalonate. Once mevalonate is formed, here it is converted to a 5-carbon compound called as isopentyl pyrophosphate. So this is a 5-carbon compound, isopentyl pyrophosphate. Remember, cholesterol is a 27-carbon compound. Cholesterol is a 27-carbon compound. Remember, 27. So the first unit, isopentyl pyrophosphate, is formed. Okay. Now, so that is all you have to know about cholesterol biosynthesis. If they ask you about cholesterol biosynthesis, remember it is only till mevalonate. Then they form isopentyl pyrophosphate. Then what happens? Two molecules of isopentyl pyrophosphate will combine together to form a 10 carbon compound, then a 15 carbon compound, and 2 molecules of 15 carbon compound will join together to give a 30 carbon compound. From that 30 carbon compound, 3 carbon compound is removed and you get a 27 carbon compound, that is cholesterol. So till mevalonate you have to know the steps. That is more than enough. Then you say 2 molecules of isopentyl pyrophosphate will combine together. Then a 15 carbon compound is formed, 30 carbon compound is formed, and finally a 27 carbon compound is formed. That is more than enough. Now coming to the normal plasma cholesterol level ranges from 150 to 200 milligrams per dl. Okay, and out of that 70% is esterified. It's cholesterol is a sterol, isn't it? So it is esterified. Okay, esterification mainly is in the plasma by a enzyme called as LCAT, that is lecithin cholesterol SI transferase. Just you got to remember the normal plasma cholesterol level, that is 150 to 200 milligrams per dl. Okay, so this cholesterol is transported as lipo-P. Now remember that LDL fraction contains is rich in cholesterol. So 70% of the total cholesterol is present in LDL. Okay, and that is about 100 to 130 milligrams per dl. So what is the function of LDL cholesterol? It transports cholesterol from the liver to the extrahepatic tissue. So delivered to the hepatic tissue. A considerable amount of LDL is taken up by the liver itself. Okay, so HDL fraction is the cholesterol. HDL, what does HDL do? High density lipoprotein. It will transport the cholesterol from the extrahepatic tissue to the liver for excretion. That is called as reverse transport. Okay, so 20% of the total cholesterol is present as HDL cholesterol. Okay, that is around 40 to 60 milligrams per dl. Clear? Now, increased LDL cholesterol. LDL cholesterol, I said it. What is the function of LDL? LDL cholesterol. LDL transports cholesterol from the liver to the extrahepatic tissue. So what happens? Your plasma cholesterol level increases. So when your plasma cholesterol level increases, your chance for atherosclerosis is more, leading to then it may land up to what is called as myocardial infarction. Now increased LDL cholesterol, that is more than 160 milligrams per dl, and decreased HDL cholesterol, that is in the case of males if it is less than 40 milligrams per dl, and in females if it is less than 50 milligrams per dl, his chances for atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease is more. I repeat, increase LDL level and decrease HDL level, the risk for atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease is more. What is hypercholesterolemia? When the serum cholesterol level increases more than 200 milligrams per dl, the condition is called as hypercholesterolemia. Now the condition where you see a hypercholesterolemia is hypothyroidism, nephrotic syndrome, diabetes mellitus, and an obstructive jaundice. So in which condition do you see hypercholesterolemia? Hypothyroidism, nephrotic syndrome, DM, diabetes mellitus, and obstructive jaundice. Okay, and or could be due to familial hypercholesterolemia. Hypercholesterolemia is seen in hyperthyroidism and in starvation. Remember, hypocholesterolemia is seen in hyperthyroidism. In hypothyroidism, it is hypercholesterolemia, and in hyperthyroidism, it is hypocholesterolemia. Now, so that is about the synthesis. I repeat once again, students, till the synthesis of mevalonate, you should know properly. After that, you say it is converted to a 5-carbon unit called as isopentyl pyrophosphate. then 2 molecules of isopentyl pyrophosphate will give a 10 carbon compound. Now this 10 carbon compound will combine with one more molecule of isopentyl pyrophosphate to give a 15 carbon compound. 2 molecules of these 15 carbon compound will form a 30 carbon compound. Out of that 30 carbon compound, 3 carbon are removed, and finally you get a 27 carbon compound, that is cholesterol. Now coming to the breakdown of cholesterol, how is cholesterol broken down and excreted? Excretion is mainly in the bile. Small amount can be excreted in the urine as conjugates of steroid hormones with sulfate of glucuronate. Okay, mainly excretion is mainly in the bile. Okay. Now total daily excretion in the bile is around 1 gram. 50% as cholesterol itself it is excreted, and 50% as bile acids. Okay, so total daily excretion in bile is around 1 gram. 50% as cholesterol itself, 50% as bile acids and bile salts. Okay, acid sterol. So synthesis of bile acids and bile salts, it takes place in the liver endoplasmic reticulum. Now this is cholesterol, a 27 carbon compound. At the 7th position, OH group is added, and the compound now is called as 7-alpha hydroxy cholesterol. This takes place in the presence of an enzyme called as 7-alpha hydroxylase utilizing NADPH. I repeat, cholesterol in the presence of 7-alpha hydroxylase gets hydroxylated at the 7th position to form 7-alpha hydroxy cholesterol. Okay, so this, when there is enough, bile acids are inhibitors of 7-alpha hydroxylase, whereas cholesterol is an activator of 7-alpha hydroxylase. Now this 7-alpha hydroxylase, students, to this 7-alpha hydroxylase hydroxy cholesterol, what happens is one more OH group is added at the 12th position, and this is called as 12-alpha hydroxylation by a series of reaction using NADPH as a donor of hydrogen. Okay, and this is by a series of steps it is converted. By adding OH group at the 12th position, it forms what is called as choline-CoA. So first what happens? What has happened? 7-hydroxylation has taken place. After 7-alpha hydroxy cholesterol is formed, one more OH group is added at the 12th position by a series of reaction to form what is called as choline-CoA. Okay, and during this process 3 carbon atoms are removed as propionyl-CoA. 7-alpha hydroxy cholesterol can be converted to what is called as quinodeoxycholine-CoA or quinoyl-CoA. Okay, for this also you require NADPH. Okay, propionyl removed. Now this choline-CoA will combine with an amino acid called as glycine to form glycocolate. So this is a bile acid. So choline-CoA will combine with glycine to form glycocolate. Okay, or it may combine with taurine to form taurocolate. So choline-CoA, you know, that is after 7-alpha hydroxy cholesterol gets hydroxylated at the 12th position to form choline-CoA. Now this choline-CoA can combine with glycine to form glycocolate or with taurine to form taurocolate. Is that clear? So now, the other compound which is formed is quinodeoxycholine-CoA. This quinodeoxycholine-CoA also can combine with glycine to form glycoquinodeoxycholate acid or cholate, or with taurine to form tauroquinodeoxycholate. Okay, so these are the bile acids, that is taurocolate or glycocolate. Okay, deoxycholate or tauroquinodeoxycholate. So these are the bile acids. Now these bile acids will combine with sodium or potassium to form bile salt. Sodium or potassium, taurocolate or glycocolate. These are the bile salts. Understood? What are the functions of bile salts? It is amphipathic substance. It has both hydrophilic as well as hydrophobic region. So it is called as amphipathic molecules. Okay. Now this bile salts will help to keep cholesterol and other water insoluble substance in solution. It won't allow it to solidify. Okay, so by myself. So decrease in bile salt concentration will cause precipitation of cholesterol and it will lead to formation of stones called as gallstone. Okay, other causes, there are other causes of gallstones also, that is when there is obstruction, cholestasis or some infection, etc. So remember, when there is decreased concentration of bile salts, they may cause precipitation of cholesterol and form what is called as gallstone. Gallstones are also formed due to cholestasis and inflammation. Not only that, this bile salt help in the digestion and absorption of lipid, and also they act as choleretics. What is choleretic? They stimulate formation, secretion of bile. So what is the, how do you, so naturally I told you, when the cholesterol level goes high, there is a chance of atherosclerosis and CHD, that is coronary heart disease. What are the measures to be taken to decrease plasma cholesterol and plasma triacylglycerol level? One is, first, when the patient comes, you try to modify his diet, give a low fat diet. Okay, decrease intake of saturated fat, decrease simple carbohydrate, because excess carbohydrate also can lead into formation of fatty acid, finally to other things. Okay, addition of plant sterols like psyllium, soy protein or Chinese red yeast rice, all this will cause to decrease this is the modification you can do in the diet. Also advise the patient to lose weight and increase his physical activity. So even if this does not help, then you have to put him on lipid lowering drugs. Okay, now I told you the lipid which is the key enzyme in cholesterol synthesis. I said HMG-CoA reductase. Okay, so lipid you can use some inhibitors called as HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. They are called as statins. So when cholesterol is high, normally doctors prescribe statins, which are nothing but compounds which inhibit HMG-CoA reductase. Okay, so there are several names for that: nevastatin, pravastatin, simvastatin, fluvastatin, atorvastatin, rosuvastatin. All these are HMG-CoA reductase. So when that is inhibited, HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. So when that is inhibited, naturally the cholesterol biosynthesis decreases. So thereby it will decrease the cholesterol level. So decrease cholesterol level synthesis. So increase hepatic LDL receptors. More of it will be uptake of all this LDL will be taken up, and therefore decrease plasma cholesterol. And VLDL also production is decreased. So triacylglycerol lowering effect. Okay, all these statins mainly they decrease cholesterol synthesis. How? They will take the LDL. LDL is the one which transports cholesterol to the extrahepatic tissue. So they will uptake increase hepatic LDL receptors. So more of increased uptake of plasma LDL. So when that is not there, the plasma cholesterol level decreases. Next one is, it will decrease VLDL production. So when VLDL production is not there, triglyceride also is lower. Okay. So cause not only that, it is believed that it increases the HDL. Now this is with regard to statins. They inhibit HMG-CoA reductase. There are certain compounds which inhibit cholesterol absorption itself. This is ezetimibe. So inhibits absorption of dietary and biliary cholesterol from the intestinal lumen. Okay, this is one. So the same, the only thing is cholesterol absorption is decreased. Okay, process. Then there are certain compounds. So one is cholesterol, HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. Next type of drug is it will inhibit the absorption of cholesterol. Third one is bile acid sequesters. Now these are cholestyramine, cholecalciferol, there are various drugs. Okay, they will bind with bile salts and interrupt enterohepatic circulation, or they are called as bile sequesters. Okay, so increased conversion of cholesterol to bile salts. So when increased conversion of cholesterol to bile salts, there will be LDL upregulation of LDL receptors in the liver. So the increased uptake of plasma LDL. So when this increased uptake of plasma LDL, naturally the serum cholesterol level decreases. But this type of bile acid sequesters are not to be given in patients with high plasma triglycerides. Okay, niacin can be given. All these, there are various components. So at least one you have to remember, that is about statins. Okay, all this not required. So just remember there are three types. One is inhibitor of HMG-CoA reductase. The next one is the inhibitor of cholesterol absorption. Then you have bile acid sequesters. Okay, these are the things, these are the various substances given to lower the serum plasma cholesterol level. They are the lipid lowering drugs. Understood? Now, in a nutshell, I will tell you about cholesterol metabolism, students. You should know what is the normal serum cholesterol level, what is the normal serum LDL level, what is the function of LDL, what is the serum HDL level, what is the function of HDL, what is the risk for atherosclerosis and CHD, that is coronary heart disease. When it comes to the biosynthesis, you should know the steps till mevalonate properly. After that, you can just mention how initially two molecules of 5 carbon compound will form a 10 carbon compound. Now this 10 carbon compound will again combine with isopentyl pyrophosphate to give a 15 carbon compound. Two molecules of 15 carbon compound will join together to form a 30 carbon compound, from which 3 carbon are removed to form a 27 carbon cholesterol. Now you have to know how choline, now catabolism is synthesis of bile acid, that is choline CoA and chenodeoxycholine CoA. So you know how it is, how these bile acids then combine with bile salts, with sodium or potassium to give sodium or potassium taurocholate or glycocholate, which are nothing but bile salts. I told you all the functions of bile salts. Then we saw the causes for hypercholesterolemia and in which condition you would see hypocholesterolemia. Then we studied in detail about lipid lowering drugs. So these are the only things you got to know. Thank you.